Hey guys, Eric at SideQuest Comics, and welcome back to another new video. And this one is my second video covering Heroes Con that I just got back from recently. And in this one, I wanted to cover basically one of the main features of Heroes Con that I wanted to go to and participate in and look for and all that kind of fun stuff is the artwork. This was my main thing, one of the main things for going to Heroes Con this year, and I did find a lot of artwork. It's something that I kind of want to start doing a little bit more since it's very personal to me, being an artist myself, that I really appreciate like original art. I kind of got the bug not that long ago when I started doing my own thing, and other community members are saying, hey, you got to check this out. You got to look into this. And I see a lot of people doing kind of cool stuff with personal sketchbooks that they're getting done by creators at shows. So I thought, yeah, this is an opportunity to get really good exposure to some original artwork. Now, what did I want to look at when it comes to artwork? Well, some of the things were like, what do creators have at their tables? You know, do they have uh, commission stuff? Do they have original pages that they done that was published? Sometimes they have posters and prints and stuff like that. All the way to there's dealers. I want to see what dealers had. I know specific dealers that's all they dealt with was artwork. There's one in particular that I am going to feature, and sometimes they have old commission work or they have sketches and stuff like that. So my buddy Dope, I know he's partook and stuff like that. And Up and Adam, he was one that said, hey, you got to check out these certain events they have at Heroes Con. So I had that on my itinerary of things that I wanted to check out. Also, one of the things I want to check, I want to show you guys and share with you is original artwork by me. So I actually did some artwork for friends that I presented to them at Heroes Con. So that's another thing that I wanted to share with you guys today on this video. Now, what I want to start with was some of the stuff that I saw on the floor. So as I'm talking, I'm probably going to put up pictures and video for you guys, just to kind of, guys don't have to stare at me. So one of the things I wanted to look at was starting with the things that I saw on the floor. There was a lot of really beautiful comic covers that I saw at different tables and stuff like that. And, I'm a sucker for a pretty cover. If the artwork is, it draws me in type of thing, there's a high chance that I am going to get it just based on that cover art, as I'm sure many of us can relate to. But on top of that, just with our badge, we got some cool stuff that I can share with you guys. So yeah, we got a couple cool prints and artwork that was part of the VIP badge of Heroes Con. So what I kind of want to do is I want to show you some of the initial stuff that I got off the floor, whether it was with my badge admission and some of the early stuff I found on the floor. So what I want to do is I want to actually switch the camera a little bit. We're going to go table down, kind of like some of my other videos when I show off the comics, but I am going to show off some of the artwork. So I had fun trying to make sure that all these prints fit into the camera frame here. But to start off, this is actually a print that came with my badge, kind of advertising the Heroes Con, the date and stuff. Very cool. I'm going to have to find a custom maybe frame for this, put on the wall. This kind of reminds me of the old like movie poster type of thing, advertising the event and stuff. So it's kind of a cool keepsake from the con. And not only with that, just even take a look at the brochure that they have. They got some really cool artwork on here, even some Frank Frazetta there advertising it, and inside it's more than just the information. They have cool prints by the different artists appearing there. So very cool collectible type of thing that I know a lot of people collect the brochures from different cons. So that I thought was kind of cool. But yeah, to go along with this that I got with the VIP badge, there was a limited edition print to 500 from this is Jackson Butch Geist, who passed away just before the cons. So this is something special he did. It kind of means special things since he is no longer with us. of the Micronauts. Very cool artwork. I love the Micronauts growing up. It was a series that Marvel did in the late '70s, so very cool to have this. You know, it's just a print, but still, it's kind of cool to have something like this. And then to go along with that stuff that I got with the badge was we got this print that I am actually just going to hold up because it's a little bit different size. So we got this one of, man, there is so much going on here, you guys. It's like kind of reminds me of was it Sergio Argento from was it Mad Magazine? I think it was. And I'm probably saying his name wrong, guys. But that's what it reminds me of. I don't remember the artist name of this print. I mean, it's probably down in the corner. You guys may recognize it, but look at all the detail of like the show floor. There's just so much to look at on this print, which is very cool. Hopefully I'm not going too fast for you guys. There's just so much to look at. So, yeah, I mean, look at all the different stuff. And this is supposed to be like the con floor and all the superheroes are there. Very cool print to have for the collection. And this was exclusive to the VIP. So I think there'll probably be some floating out there if you really want to get a hold of this. Then I mentioned like shiny covers and covers that just kind of draw you in. Well, one of them, the ones that I was super planning on getting was this one by Jenny Friesen. It's of Harley Quinn. Let me see if I can get it where it's not too bad of a reflection. There we go. I think I got it. And she did sign it right there. I stood in line and got it signed. This may appear again in another video because this was a big highlight for me. It's a foil cover, so I'm really having a hard time showing it off. But that was just some of the artwork right off the bat that I saw, and I got some more coming up. Another cool art-related event that happened at Heroes Con was the Drink and Draw event that was on Friday night. My buddy up in Adam told me about this. He said, hey, if you want to get some really cool original art for a good price and a good cause, he said, you got to check out the annual Drink and Draw. As you see, I'm wearing the shirt right now that I had to get there. Now, what the Drink and Draw event is it was a benefit to raise money for the Parkinson's research. Now, all the money that they made from selling original artwork at this event, or what they did is they had these little coasters. So these coasters, I got one right here, I'll show you guys. They got these coasters here that you basically, they were $1 a piece, I think. So anybody can do this, whether it was a creator or attendee could, you know, just go to this event. They didn't have like an entrance fee or nothing like that, but you can go up to the table where they had people either dropping off original art, or you could pick up these little coasters, these drink coasters that were blank on the one side. And what they had you do is you just draw whatever you want to do, you know, pencils, markers, color pencils, color markers, watercolor. I saw people doing stuff like that. Draw on here, put your name type of thing. So if people want to look you up, they could, and you donate it. And they decided what table it went on. Now they had a couple different tables ranging from different prices, you know, from $5 all the way up to $500. And I did see, as you see some of this video, they had some professionals mingling with attendees and some guys doing some phenomenal artwork there live on the spot, and some that were just already done beforehand and people were just dropping it off. And then you got to look at it all. It was really cool to just walk down this table of all these different artwork. And if there's something there that you liked, you could have paid $10. You could have paid $20. Now, I did manage to get 2 pieces there. And what I want to do is I will go back table down and I'll show you guys the 2 things that I managed to pick up. So yeah, I got 2 things at the Heroes Con Drink and Draw event. This is the little, one of the like drink coasters that you can get, and you know, draw on the back of them and put your whether it was IG or a website or whatever, so people can get a hold of you if you wanted to, you know, like sell art type of thing. And these were like $1 a piece. But like I said, I did get two pieces. I'm going to actually zoom down here so you guys can get a good look at this. But this was one of the pieces I picked up. I think this was off of the $30 table. I don't know who the artist was. I did not see this being made. I know I heard some other people saying they were watching the artist to do this, but very cool print, original drawing, not print, original drawing of Madeline Pryor, the Goblin Queen here. And I like how it's kind of a throwback to the like a 50s type. That's what it gives me, a 50s feel. So I like this one. It's kind of neat. This is something that like I said, reminded me of the 50s type thing. And it's an X-Men related original drawing. So of course I got to get it. But then this one was the first one that I saw on the table. This was a $20 one. And I really like this one because, it kind of it's kind of a memory of the Drink and Draw event 2025 Heroes Con. I like stuff like that. It's kind of a memory piece and of course I like it. It's Plastic Man. So if you guys didn't know, that's who that is. And I like kind of the sketchy look of it and stuff. So very cool one. Again, it wasn't that expensive. I mean, these two prints ended up costing me $50 for original art. I think that's kind of a good deal. But that's what I got, and there was lots of other stuff there that you could have got. Saturday night, they had another big art event at Heroes Con. Now, this one I know people were talking about for a long time because they say it gets kind of crazy. It's fun. I mean, it's your typical auction atmosphere. You kind of get caught up in that moment, the battling for some cool artwork. I mean, we saw that night. I have to find a picture of it. Scotty Young did this 2-panel Galactus Pac-Man painting that I think it ended up going for like $15,000. So there's video out there if you haven't seen it of actual people bidding on this piece in the moment, which is kind of cool. It just gave me those feels of if you ever watch kind of a high profile auction where people are battling and getting caught up in that bidding war type of thing. It's really cool. Now, as expected, a lot of that art went for pretty big bucks, more than I could afford. As I just was mentioning, 15 grand. That's that's out of my price range. But the cool thing about it is that all those proceeds, the money that the individual pieces raised, so that would go to the charity of that artist's choosing. Now, if they didn't have a particular charity, some of the art pieces would go back to the Heroes Con organization to kind of help offset different costs of the event, whether it was the full con or other things that just basically put the whole convention together. So I thought that was kind of cool that the money raised either goes to charities of the artist's choice or it goes back into the con so they can keep doing this kind of stuff in the future. And all the artwork that was being featured in that at the auction was created during the day, during the actual hours of the con. They had a big stage on one side of the hall that artists were. I don't know if they had set times that they were going up there and working on pieces for the auction. I think it was by choice. If they wanted to participate at a certain time, they would leave their table, for maybe an hour or two or something like that. And they would go on this stage. So you could actually sit there. They had seats there and watch them create it live in the moment. And then later that night, those stuff is I think what went into the auction. So that was kind of cool. And if it didn't sell, they had like it mounted on boards there with tables. And I think there was people you could talk to and do like silent bidding type of stuff. I wasn't sure how that worked. I never looked into it too much. So I think in the future is something that maybe I'll look for. So like if it's something that just didn't sell at the auction on Saturday night, I think you could go there and do like a silent auction. And whoever was the highest bidder, maybe they would contact. Something that I'll have to look into the future and see how that all works, because I find that kind of interesting that you get a second chance type of thing to get some of this cool art. Now, in the beginning, I did mention a little bit of my art, original art that I did for some friends. Now, I do have videos coming soon for these, kind of like one of the ones I did earlier for Lettuce Comics. I did a Captain America one for him, and I filmed the whole process from pencils to watercolor to inks. these two that I feature here for Nate at Hall Yeah Comics and Dope Comics. I've been working on these for a while. Uh, I don't think Nate knew about his, so it was kind of a little bit of a surprise. And Dope didn't know about his either, but Nate knew about that. So I was kind of keeping it secret from them. And I debuted it to them at Heroes Con, and I think I blew them away a little bit. So I do have pictures and video that I can put up here. And like I said, watch for videos of the creation of these coming soon to the channel. I have them all in the backlog. It's just a matter of me getting through them. The previous video was about an hour, so if you're interested in seeing the whole process from start to finish, I mean, I kind of clip it a little bit to cut it down time-wise. It's something to see, and hopefully, you know, I wanted to present this because I thought it kind of fits in with the whole art thing. I'm trying to get more into the art thing, whether it's my thing or other people's thing, you know, iconic artists that I looked up to growing up that kind of inspired me to do that stuff. So hopefully maybe it'll inspire some of you guys out there. But I just wanted to show a little bit of the clips from me giving them to them and, you know, show you guys a little bit. And like I said, make sure you keep an eye open for those videos coming soon of some of my artwork.
Dude, this is so good. Look at that. Oh. Eric, I love this. I love this.
What can I say? I'm a pusher. If you like Dazzler, I'm pushing it.
I love this.
And then that cover sheet, you can take it off. It's just to help protect it.
I'm going to keep it safe until I can get it.
Dope might have a kind of a trickier time frame in his because I had to do a custom size. I had a mid alteration.
I've actually seen it, and I can't wait for you to see it.
Look at it. Dope's going,
That is so good.
That is.
It's so good.
That will be framed. That's awesome.
Come on.
The orb and 8-ball riding bitch.
Yep. That awesome or what?
It's unreal.
That is amazing.
Eric, just outstanding. Thank you.
It was fun to do.
I love it.
Now, last day, so we're on the last day of Sunday. I did walk around the hall a lot. I checked out some of the original artwork at different booths. I saw what people had at their tables, and a lot of it was priced a little bit more than what I wanted to spend. And that's the tough thing. If you guys are going to get into original art, I'll say this, is not a cheap part of the hobby. You either have to save for it or you kind of have to look at, well, what exactly do I want? I mean, there is plenty of original art out there. Like I said, showing off the event of the drink and draw, I paid 10 and 20 bucks, I think, for those two art pieces. You know, these were created in the moment that day, that night, I think. So they weren't super expensive. I actually don't even know who created those. So if you guys recognize them, put them in the comments so I can know. But yeah, there are affordable options out there for you guys. You just have to be diligent and look at it. You know, it may be a newer artist that's just starting. You know, maybe you like his style. Another thing is that you can look into prints. So prints is another more affordable way. If it's not original pencil or pens and inks and stuff like that, look at prints. If you really just like the artwork, there's nothing wrong with just getting a print. So that's one option. But on the last day, on the Sunday, I did pull a trigger on something that I saw previous days there when looking around. And one of those things, and I did feature some of the video, I'll pop up some more here, but it's from Anthony's Comic Book Art. So if you guys haven't checked them out, check them out online. He has an online store that I actually, on the way down to Heroes Con, I checked out, and there was a lot of stuff on there that he actually didn't have at the booth. You know, he had stuff that ranged all over from, like, he had Kirby's and stuff, you know, a couple stuff there. And he had a lot of modern stuff too. So like I said, some of it was a little pricey, so you got to know that going into it. But there was also a lot of affordable options. So that last day, I did pull the trigger on some stuff, and I will show you guys those up close. And also, I had a fun VIP event where I got to meet JR. So I'm also going to show you some of the stuff I got through that. So that is also one option that you can look into if there's kind of a special event for a creator, that sometimes stuff like that, the original art, is included in the price of admission to that. So let's go ahead and go down and take a look at that stuff. So yeah, walking around the con floor, you are likely to find some art or prints that you really like. Like I said, prints are a good way to get cool art at an affordable price. And there's, like I said, a lot of tables have stuff like that. And this is one here that is from actually this issue of Detective Comics number 371. It's an early appearance of Batgirl. And this is actually the inside splash page of it. So I find it humorous. I mean, it's really cool. And this I actually found at a table of Karen Whitefield, who, we sat there and talked to her for a bit. My wife did end up buying her a book that she wrote about her experience as traveling around in the late 70s, 80s, appearing as Batgirl with Adam West from the original show. They were kind of promoting the show, promoting Batman, promoting Batgirl. So she had this on her table with some other prints I thought was really cool. I actually almost wish that I went back and she had a print of this cover, which, to go with it would have been nice. But very cool print, and I think it was like $20, affordable print. I know there was prints there of other artists had that were about the same price. Sometimes if you bought the print, they would sign it for you. So it's very cool to just get a print of, an image or a superhero, something that you really liked. Now, one of the dealers I did pull the trigger on getting some art was this place. I want to give them some advertisement. Anthony's Comic Book Art. My buddy Dope turned me on to this place. I guess he's bought stuff from them before. They have a great online presence. That actually, I looked at their online stuff. There's a lot of stuff online that wasn't at their booth with, all the different portfolios that they had. And it was really cool that all his stuff was organized either by superheroes, by artists, by genre, stuff like that. So yeah, some of them were a little pricey, but I did pull the trigger on these ones. Let me zoom down in so you can see this better. So what this is it's a model sheet recreation of the show the artist did back in the late 70s, the Super Friends show. This was by McNeil. I'm going to have to look up the full name, but it was a challenge layout and titles from 78. So I got this one of Aquaman. I thought it was pretty cool. And these were affordable. These were only like $45, I think. And I mean, it's original art. Here's of course, I got to get Black Manta if I'm going to get Aquaman. Very cool original art. Like I said, it was one of the things that I could afford. And I thought it was really cool to have something from Super Friends of a character I really liked. I was looking at, bigger artists and stuff, but like I said, that price range was just, especially on the last day, was beyond my wallet size. So I'm super happy to go with this. I got to get some nice frames for these so I can put them up on the wall yet. Then the very last thing I want to share with you guys was some artwork. I got a special event with John Romita Jr. It was a VIP thing where we got to bring some books to get signed. We had choice of an original head sketch and a print. This is the head sketch that I got from John Romita Jr., and it's a pencil drawing of Wolverine. Very cool. I mean, you could see if I took an eraser to this, I would erase it. So this is really cool that I got this. Definitely going to have to get a frame for this one. But along the lines of getting that and some books signed, I also got a print of Spider-Man here that he did sign at the event, which was cool. And we were entered into a raffle for the original of this print. I'm super happy with having a print. Like I said, prints are sometimes a more affordable way to get cool art. So I'm very happy with that one. And I can't recommend enough. If there's something like the VIP thing, yeah, it may be a little pricey at first, but in the long run, I think it's worth it just for the experience, to talk to the artist, to, get some books signed, which mean something to you, and just get some really cool artwork like the Spider-Man here, or, this Wolverine head sketch. So that about does it for all the artwork at HeroesCon that I saw and picked up. Well, there is just some of the little bit of art that you can find at these cons at HeroCon, whether it's stuff that you find on the floor or just prints and stuff that you get from admission. I hope you guys enjoy kind of this little peek at some original art, whether it's actually drawn there or it's a print type of thing at Heroes Con. Make sure that you check stuff like this out if you're interested. There's a lot of different options. Hopefully, I showed you guys some of the different options that are out there, and keep an eye open for more with JR. I kind of want to feature that in another video where I talk about some of the creators I met and stuff that I had signed, because that is going to be part of that little bit. So I'll go more into detail of that event and experience. But that is all I got for this video, you guys, featuring artwork that I found, artwork that I participated in and gave away at Heroes Con. While you're at it, guys, if you haven't done it, make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe and comment down below. Was any of this art something that you would think about buying? I mean, it's a fairly new thing that I'm getting into, and it can be pricey. So hopefully I kind of made you guys feel a little bit at ease about there's options out there. I know that I've had buddies in the community kind of present to me that option, that there's more than just, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars on an original page, from comics. You can get prints, you can find little sketches and stuff like that. So comment down below, let me know what you think about all that, and also make sure you check me out on Instagram. Follow me there for daily posts of different themes of comics. That's all there's going to be for today's video on original artwork at Heroes Con. I hope this helps you guys, and while you're out there looking for artwork maybe to put on your wall at different cons and shows, happy questing, and we'll talk to you next time.